Hello folks, welcome to the Land Timber Stream. It is Friday Eve, aka Thursday night, and we are getting ready for the CCIE written exam in 18 days, at least for now. I'm not totally sure about that. I may change it. I really want to take it this month, but I really want to make sure that I'm ready. So jury's still out on that. I may take this weekend to channel some inner Bob Ross and just think happy thoughts and reevaluate. So we'll see. This wallpaper of the day is just something I found on Flickr called networking or something. Shiny little thing, shiny little wallpaper. But yeah, 18 days ago, folks, and it's Thursday night. We've got our Java. Get your Java if you're getting ready to study, if you're labbing, if you're thinking about labbing, if you're trying to get motivated to do some labbing or to plan out your attack on your next exam. Let's hit it, folks, and let's talk about networking, right? Let's talk about the CCIE written. So what I've been working on, all I really want to talk about today is written progress. So there's no other vlog topics today. There's all kind of stuff I could be talking about, and we may digress. But, you know, yesterday I was studying... Last couple days, I've been studying BGP ad path, and there was still a little work on that today, not so much formally, but you know, one good thing about the different forums you have out there, whether you're using Slack or you're using Discord, we've got a decently active Discord server here associated with this channel. We got a number of people on there with different areas of expertise, router gods, INE Spark. So sometimes I'll put out some feelers. Like if I'm not really experienced with a certain topic and I just want to bounce it off of somebody. That's the whole purpose of a study group, right? You just need a sanity check. It's okay, hey, this is the way I understand it. Is this the way that you've seen it done in production? Like, is this how it's used in the real world? Or even if it's not how this is used in the real world, with a lot of these CCIE exam scenarios or not. But just to get some feedback, and I got some great feedback today with ad paths, sort of some validation of what I was thinking about in our Discord server. By the way, if you're not on the Discord server, get on a Discord server, folks, right now. Install Discord, hit that link, get on Discord, because to me it's like the new Slack, right? It's but sexier. It has a lot to do with gaming and things like that, but the voice integration is really cool, and the video integration is really cool. So, and the audio quality is great also. So anyway, get out there in Discord, chat with us offline whenever I'm not, you know. I typically have it open throughout the day. Not throughout the day, but I tend to have it open on a break. I'll go check in, see what people are talking about, just like any other Slack channel, right? But, you know, I put some feelers out there about BGP ad paths. I got some good feedback. Some people have a little more experience as a service provider than I do. And I went out on a couple different forums and was soliciting some feedback from that. So that's great. That helped me a little bit. But today I'm moving on. So today we're talking about 6PE routing. IPv6 Provider Edge over MPLS. And this, folks, first of all, okay, maybe I looked at this a while back. Maybe I didn't, but obviously I need to work on it. I went to the blueprint just to double check my sanity, which I realize I say that a lot. I'm constantly doing, but it's because it needs to be checked. But yeah, if you come here, 6PE routing. In fact, I found material 6PE. I'm like, oh, don't forget about 6VPE. So that's what I'm going to be working on tonight. There's only one item here. I also need to study 6RD. And I'm going to be coming back to this entire section here. It's interesting that it calls this a tunneling technique. I guess it is, because it's using MPLS. MPLS is tunneling. We're just now noticing that, right? And I've already did a little bit of reading, and it's fascinating. I'm sure I've looked over this before, but probably just skimmed it. Well, we're going a little deeper, right? And what's really cool about this, I've got a couple of meat chunks here. If you want to know more about 6PE routing, I did the research for you already, folks. I found a couple of good blogs. I found a couple of good articles. They're right here. So this blog is really good. Not the best English, but this person seems to know what they're talking about. 6P IPv6 over MPLS, and it talks about basically how it works. And part of the special sauce of 6PE is the fact that you can tunnel IPv6 over an an MPLS network, and you can do BGP, a multi-protocol BGP adjacencies here using IPv4. And all the protocol does is it essentially takes the IPv4 addresses and it converts it to an IPv6 address. Receive IPv6 prefix from C devices. Let's see. Yeah, this goes into depth somewhat here. Here we go. Yeah, what I liked about this article is it really shows what it looks like in the BGP table. But this article is Cisco Doc. Describes essentially several techniques that are real important. Actually, this is not it either. One one interesting thing about 6PE is the fact that it uses two MPLS labels. And this is a frequently asked question on the Cisco Doc site, which is good. Man, I need to find that other article I was reading today. Cisco does a better job of describing how essentially it takes the IPv4 address and adds FFF, sort of prepends it, and then that becomes your v6 address, right? And it does a conversion. And of course, these are for the purpose of this, and this is what's really important too. I'm going to study a little more tonight. Obviously, I've got a little ways to go on this. But one really curious thing about it is, with IPv6 tunneling techniques, you need to match, and maybe that's what I will end up doing later in my drill sheet, is doing a contrast and compare, because I think that's important. Contrast and compare these different tunneling techniques, when you would use which, and essentially with 6PE, what you want to do is you want to connect IPv6 islands, routing islands, right? And you want to use, this is great in a use case where, you want to route IPv6 and you want to exchange prefixes, but you want to do it over an IPv4 network. You don't want to have to take that IPv4 network and implement IPv6 in your core, provider network. No, you want to use your plain old IPv4 provider network, maybe use a route reflector, etc., to connect the PE routers, but the PE routers have to run dual stack, IPv4 and IPv6. But yeah, it will be good. I'll probably end up doing that. That's a good idea. Good job, Quinn. That's a good idea to myself here. But I want to do a compare and contrast, and I've done this with some of the other techniques. I have not done this, and I'm just going to expand on it with 6RD and 6PE, 6VPE. A lot of Cisco docs, when it lists a feature, it starts out and it says, these are the prerequisites, these are the restrictions and the limitations. So maybe we can do something like that with all these IPv6 tunneling techniques. It's important to distinguish them one from the other for their use case and how the technique actually works, right? Then if I have time tonight, well, again, I won't be checking back in until Saturday. I take Friday evenings off. So by Saturday, I'll be able to speak more in depth on this 6PE routing. I think we're going to take on 6RD before we hit PAP. We'll do 6RD, then we'll hit PAP authentication and what the requirements are for that. And then on Saturday, I'll be able to check back in with you folks and let you know. Hopefully, probably by Sunday, I'll let you know whether I am going to continue with the same date, July 23rd, for the written, or if I'm going to extend that or not. We'll see. But yeah, 6PE routing, which is really good stuff, man. I really enjoyed it. I didn't get a lot of time to read yet. It's around lunch, etc. But this evening, tomorrow, I'll be reading up on these protocols and hopefully be able to speak and explain it. That's what I'll attempt to do on my next vlog, is make sure that I can explain it, because that will ensure that really I understand it. And if I can explain it to you in a reasonable way, that will be a sign that I might be ready to, I might be ready on these particular areas of the blueprint. Another couple of meat chunks. That's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to keep it brief. One is the blog CCIE Journey Completed by PacketSmurf, PacketSmurf.org. This is a member of Router Gods, and I don't think he puts his name on here. Yeah, Dustin Schumann, yeah. I knew who it was, but I was just wanting to ensure how his name was listed there, or if it was at all before I said anything. But yeah, so this is a really good, this is part 1. He has not released part 2 yet, but it's a good read. It's interesting. We had a discussion about this today on Discord about, he makes a statement here that generally for people it takes 12 to 18 months. I believe that was on this blog. Yeah, 12. The CCIE can take anywhere from 12 to 18 months to achieve. Okay? I'm already on, folks, it's going to take me longer than 18 months. I can tell you that. And we had a discussion about this today. How long does it really take? And it depends. So it was an interesting discussion. If you want to be a part of that, give your thoughts, see what you think. Kind of have a sounding board about your journey on your certification. If you think it's taking too long, if you don't think it's taking long enough, and what your thoughts are, how you can speed it up, hit us up on Discord. We can talk about it, right? A lot of folks will be happy to chime in on that. So it's not a race, though, right? Or it shouldn't be. It's all about the journey. And but inevitably, this journey, it takes up a lot of our time. It impacts others. It impacts family. It impacts, ourselves. So while we don't want to drag it on for 20 years, how long is too long, right? At what point do you give up? In my case, I do not want to give up for anything. I want to keep on going. And it was funny. This is a really good. There's an interesting statement here. CCIE was very hard on my wife. She literally had to do everything around the house. I basically disappeared. That's right, Big Abe. You never give up. Because if I ever said anything like that, something like this would happen to me. The CCIE was very hard on my wife. She literally had to do everything around the house. I basically disappeared for the next 18 months. Became a very ordinary person to be around. There were nights where I didn't feel like studying. My wife would basically tell me to get my ass off the couch and go study. And I guarantee you, if I slacked off, and this is good, this is what I comment in Discord. If I slacked off right now, my wife would give me a hard time. Certain evenings, she takes classes at a local college, and she'll come back, later in the evening, and she's like, okay, so did you stream? Did you lab? Did you study? So it's good. That's good accountability, but it is hard on the ones we love. So, but yeah, the accountability is really good. And as I was mentioning, one good thing for me is if I ever slacked off, not only would my wife get on to me, there are others in my family, and I know in Discord, if I went on radio silence, people have my cell number. Like, they're going to start calling me. Quentin, what's your problem? Get off your ass. Start studying. That's what we do for each other, right? As a community, as a support system, that's how we help each other out. So, and hopefully, if this vlog helps at all, these videos, if nothing else, to give you a little motivation too, that, we're in it together. So anyway, I'm going to let you all have the rest of your Thursday night, your Friday Eve, and, you can take care of business, whatever you got to do. I'm gonna try to telepathically send you some good bits. Take those bits, use them, and put them into your study, into your labbing, whatever you're doing. And I hope you have a great rest of the evening. Good to see you there, Big Abe, there in the chat. Appreciate the support there, my friend. Never give up. And we shall see you back here this weekend on Saturday. We'll see you back here in the Land Tamer stream. Keep studying, keep labbing. Don't stop. Y'all have a great night.